directed by Gene Stetsky or Stetsky. I'm not really good with names, so please, you're gonna have to forgive me on that one. And this is Gene's directorial debut. And Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg are both producers in this movie as well. And to let you guys know, I'm about to explain the plot of this movie, okay? This movie revolves around 3 boys that has been invited to a kissing party. And now these boys are really nervous because this is the first time they're getting a chance to kiss some girls. So we pretty much have an adventure leading up to them going to their first kissing party. I'm being dead ass serious. That's the plot. You're going to have to come to grips. I'm going to have to let you know that this movie is quite different than your traditional comedy. This movie revolves around 3 characters. Max is being played by Jacob Tremblay, and Thor and Lucas. These are the main characters this whole entire movie focuses around. So you're pretty much getting an adventure from their perspective as they doing these outlandish and funny things as children. And they have vulgar humor, they have vulgar antics, they do over the top funny stuff. It is so hilarious. And before I go in depth with that, some of this could be different from the traditional audience. When I went to the pre-screening, there were some people there. Some people didn't like this movie. Because whether or not you like Good Boys, it just depends if you are willing to accept 12-year-olds dropping F-bombs and doing outlandish stuff, such as having BDSM toys and, you know, making sex jokes, like really hardcore sex jokes. And if you are willing to accept this, then this film is definitely made for you. If you don't like the fact that these children are dropping F-bombs, like 12-year-olds and 11-year-olds dropping F-bombs, talking like they're adults, you know, with the same language as if they're adults, then you would not like this movie. This movie is basically based on preference. But for me personally, I love raunchy comedy, so this movie definitely worked with me. And the best thing about this, the jokes, was it's coming from their 12-year-old minds. But yet these are 12-year-old minds, and you can tell that these kids are immature and they don't know, and they don't have the full knowledge of what they're actually saying sexually. And that is the main reason why it's so funny. It's just, these kids are just, you know, they're adventuring out, discovering new things, and the writing revolving around these jokes, it was brilliantly written. And I had to say that the script and the dialogue and some of the scenes was well written. These child actors did a fantastic job with the chemistry. I felt like they were real friends. I love how throughout the scenes, they stick together. They interact with one another. They help each other out. You feel like this is a unit. This is the BB boys, the beanbag boys. That's what they call it in the film. And also there were some emotional scenes that was interwoven within that gave it that sense of realness, that these are actual kids that has actual feeling. There are some good character moments in this movie, but I did like some of the messages, the harsh messages they delivered to the kids. You know, your best friends usually are not the people you grew up with. Like, this is strictly a comedy, and I do believe that the comedy genre is dying a little bit. This is basically a refreshing take to bring back the genre, you know? This movie was refreshing. No doubt, this movie does feel like Superbad, but with younger children. Superbad, it revolved around teenagers trying to find their rites of passage or going to a party and getting laid and drinking booze and smoking weed for the first time. And now this movie is all about kids trying to get that first kiss. I can find these characters relatable in ways, because, you know, I was already into girls at a very young age because of Lion King and Nala scene. So I was kissing girls at 5 years old, but I could find these characters relatable because of, you know, how the movie treats that moment. It treats that moment like it's a so epic, like it's a live or die situation. And I thought that the writing revolving around that was perfectly executed. I don't really have much flaws with the film, other than there's some cliche jokes in here, and I can't really think of much flaws with this movie. This movie was just raunchy, dirty, over the top. It was extremely funny. These boys, these little kids, did a fantastic job of just dropping F-bombs and just being obnoxiously funny. This movie was refreshing. It has some refreshing humor. Now it will not work for some, I will admit that, but it's basically based off of your preference. So I'm going to give Good Boys a Christian Bale Batman. I really enjoyed this movie. I'm going to buy this on Blu-ray. So have you seen Good Boys? What are your thoughts? Comment below and let's talk about it. And I'll see you guys in the next review. And if you like everything you see and you agree, subscribe to my channel and join me in the Batman family. I'll have more Batman-tastic reviews in the way. You are a good boy. Or a good girl. Till then, ciao.
You're such a good boy. I love you. I love you. You're such a good boy. I love you. I love you. You're such a good.
Who's a good boy? I am a good boy. I like my chew toy. I like bringing joy. When I'm going poop, I look